here you have the Netherlands, and in the south you have France. So also in the south part of Belgium, people are speaking French. Yeah, but there is no problem also in your country. Yeah, you have to speak two languages, English and French. So this is similar. But it means also for us, when we are giving coaching education, and also as a coach, we have to explain it in both languages. And I can also say that there is also a difference in culture. But this is also maybe something interesting, that you can combine different cultures. And you have also to know that there are a lot of immigrants in Belgium. Maybe you know some Belgian A-team players. So it's a really multicultural country. And sometimes, okay, you have problems, but sometimes you can also use it as your opportunity to develop the different qualities of the different people. So I will explain you something about our development vision. Then I will give information about our competition structure, speak about national youth teams, coach education school, the top sports schools also, and the talent identification and the club and academy management the federation is organizing. These are for me the most important things to explain our way we are working with talented football players. Of course, I can also give information about grassroots projects, but I have only 45 minutes, so I will focus on this. In 2000, we developed a vision. So it's 15 years ago, and how we did it, there was no vision at the end of the 90s in Belgium. We had a strong vision in the Netherlands and also a strong vision in France. And France was world champions in 98. Also the Dutch, they had a very famous development vision, but in Belgium it was nothing. And at that moment, we saw also a lack of skillful players. So with about 30 coach educators, we came together a weekend to brainstorm, and we said, okay, we need also to have a vision on youth development. And it was for us not so difficult. We took the best from the Netherlands vision and the best from the France vision. And the Netherlands is more the north, it's more a global approach, and the south is more an analytic approach. So we made the combination of both. But it was also very important that this vision, we try to implement it in our national youth teams, in our top sports schools, and in our coach education. So we started in 2000, but of course it changed during the last 15 years. A very important decision we made was the changement of our game formats. We played small-sided games, the late 90s, but instead of playing 5-a-side, 7-a-side, 9-a-side, 11-a-side, we changed it and we played 5-a-side, 8-a-side, 11-a-side. Yeah? Is it true that you in Canada are also playing 8-a-side? Yeah, so this is a fantastic decision. Yeah, but I will explain it later why we changed it. It was also based on scientific research, and for us it was a big adjustment, and we are very satisfied that we did this. Then we developed our vision. And this was a vision not made by only the coaching education, the school, not only made by the federation. We did it together with the coaches of the clubs, with the head of youth academies. So we organized a lot of workshops with these people. It means that at the end we had a final product, and it means that all people in Belgium, they were satisfied. So there was a wide bearing surface, and this is, I think, very important that, okay, when you develop a vision, that all your coaches, they believe also that maybe this is a good vision. But of course, there are different visions. Maybe you know that we are saying there are different ways to Rome, yeah? So, okay, there's no problem. The most important thing is that you will arrive in Rome, yeah? So this is why you need also a strong vision. And then, in all our projects we did, we really implement this vision. We really respect this vision. So, as I repeat, in coach education, in national youth teams, regional selections, top sports schools, and also the Belgian clubs, they adapt also a little bit their vision, and they apply also the global Belgian vision. Very important, as I explained, is that this is a vision who started in 2000, that we constantly adapted also our vision to international trends. Football is evaluating the whole time. Now we are not playing anymore like 5 years ago. So this was also very important to adapt it to international trends. I can speak about 2 hours about our vision. I try to make a summary, but I try to make comparison with a bridge. So you have to build a strong bridge. A bridge means that necessary for your youth player who is at the left border, that he can go to the other side, to the right border, and so to become an adult football player. So you need a bridge sustained by 2 pillars, and the 2 pillars are fun and formation. Formation development, formation. So fun, formation was, for us, very important. What does it mean? Each training session, we need to see players who like playing football because the exercise were funny, but also exercise they can learn something, fun and formation. So we need to build a strong bridge with different layers, and the first layer was a philosophy. A philosophy at that moment, in 2000, maybe you remember, we played football with sweepers, individual marking. No, we said we need to play zonal football. Now, I think all the teams are playing zonal football, but you need a philosophy, and then we translate the principles of zonal football to objectives and a learning plan. So you need to have a philosophy, but also a program. Yeah? And then a method to realize the objectives. And our method is, like I said, it's a part global, but also a part analytic. So we try to offer a lot of game forms, but when it's not possible to realize the objectives during the training session, we will go to more isolated intermediate forms. The most important people in the coach and the education is the player himself. Yeah? So it's not about coaches, it's not about parents, it's not about the board, it's about the players. So the player is really the actor in our vision. I will only explain here a little bit what is our development model. So football, when you see a boy or a girl starting playing football, and you can compare it a little bit with your long player LTBD, long-term playing development system, that you have to start by something. And we think that under 5 kids, they cannot play together, but they can do some exercises with the ball. It means that they are playing next to each other. So you can offer some exercise, leading the ball and shooting. The second step, and this is a very important step, is not giving passes, but it's dribbling. Because from the age of under 6, they are able to play against each other, but they are very egocentric. Yeah? So they are not able to give passes. Do not ask the players under 6 to give passes. This is not good. So after leading, shooting, you have to work on dribbling skills. And dribbling skills, what does it mean? A lot of touches. A pass, what does it mean? A pass for a boy or a girl of 6 years old, it means that he or she is giving the ball away to a teammate. So it means that he or she doesn't have anymore the ball. So it means also it's impossible to develop the skills of dribbling. Yeah? And then when a young girl, boy can dribble well, what is happening, then he or she doesn't need anymore the eyes to look to the ball, and then he or she can look around, and then it's possible to give good passes. So this is very important in our model. I repeat, start leading shooting, then dribbling, and after dribbling, passing. So we have in our model different steps. We start by a 2v2, then a 5-a-side, an 8-a-side, 11-a-side. And when we speak about 2v2, it's for boys, girls under 5, under 6, and it's really me and the ball. Me and the ball, it's time to explore the game, but me and the ball. Then next step is a short passing game, 5-a-side. 8-a-side is mid-long, collective passing game, and at the end is from under 14, 11 to 11. So what we are doing is we translate this model to technical and tactical objectives, and we try to put it in the learning plan for the different age groups. We start by exploration. It means even there, let the kid find himself the solution, not really working with objectives, but from the age of under 7, then you can start with specific objectives, but based here on the basic principles, technical principles and tactical principles. As you can see in the beginning, there are a lot of basics time. But you have also team tactical principles. When you are playing five-a-side, the player, he must also learn how to play five-a-side. Yeah? And in the beginning, you see most of the time basics, and then you will go to team tactical principles. The last step is also important, is what we call the post-formation, the perfection step. Do not forget it. So we think that youth development can finish at the end of under 17, but then you need still to find some specific objectives, and each player is different, and work more on strength and weaknesses. So here you can see, for instance, that when you are in an 8 against 8 learning environment, you have to focus maybe 75% on basics and 25% on team tactics. When you start playing 11-a-side, then it's more 50-50. I will explain you now why, for us, it's very important to start with 1v1. Here, we call it 2v2 because the goalkeeper is also important in football. Yeah? And they like also, the kids, making goals, yeah, with the goalkeeper. It's not the same play when you are playing in small goals without goalkeeper. So they like to imitate their stars. Yeah? So for us, it was very important to put immediately a goalkeeper. So here you can see two sides, and now we are also really playing two sides with adapted sized goals. Yeah? So this is what we are doing now under 6. Then you see, when you are playing 5 sides with the goalkeeper and 4 field players, and you put them in a single diamond, you see here also 4 1v1. You have here a 1v1, there, and there. So what does it mean for this player? His decision-making process is dribbling, passing, or even shooting. Yeah? So he needs the dribbling skills to make the right decision. Yeah? And what's very important is that the shape you're using here is a diamond. So you see the diagonal lines necessary to give good passes, but you see also the 1v1. So the next step is not a 7-a-side, but an 8-a-side. And I don't know what your shape is in an 8-a-side, but the most logical step is that you go from a single diamond to a double diamond. Yeah? So what does it mean now for the same player here? Decision-making process is, okay, he can of course shoot, but he can dribble, but he can also give a short pass. It was something that he learned in 5-a-side, but he can now also give a pass to a player who is a little bit further away. Yeah? So half-long passing. And then the next step is a 11-a-side, and you need to play in a 4-3-3. When you are logic, it means you see here the 3 strikers, and in a 4-3-3 you see exactly the same structure. When you're playing 8-a-side, you see also the 2 players on the wing. So you see the logical progression, yeah? 5-a-side, 8-a-side, and 11-a-side. A learning, it means it's a cumulative process, yeah? So you start by playing 2-a-side, dribbling skills, but you need also the dribbling skills when you are playing 5-a-side, but here there are some new objectives, like short passing, yeah? Like controlling the ball on short passing. Then you go to 8-a-side, and what do you see in 8-a-side? You have dribbling, you have short passing, yeah? So this is also the reason why you have to focus during enough time on the dribbling and the short passing skills, and then you can go to new objectives. And exactly the same for 11-a-side. So what does it mean also? That you must play as long as possible small-sided games. And when you're playing 8-a-side, it's almost 80% of the objectives that you can here learn as a player you need in an 11 against 11 side. But when the kids are playing 8-a-side, they can touch more the ball. There are more decision-making process. It's more adapted. So this is also the reason why in Belgium we are playing 8-a-side on grassroots level until the age of under 13. Yeah. So it's important to think about this also. So we are speaking about the learning process. So what we did is we looked for basics objectives in the different game formats. So you can put here objectives, dribbling, short passing, half passing, and then long passing. We did the same for team tactical principles and physical and mentally also. And this is our learning plan. We developed together with a lot of coaches. And I think it's something that you need to do also, you as a coach, together with your director. And okay, sometimes it can be a little bit different, but the most important thing that at the end of the youth development, the players, they had enough time to work on all the different objectives related to your playing system, to your philosophy. So in the beginning I said that it's very important that your vision, your principles and your vision, you adapt it to new trends in international football. So in the beginning, we played a 4-2-3 with 2 holding midfielders. And I think also maybe 8 years ago, we changed it. Because we want to play a possession game, and we even say, and I know it's impossible, but we even say to our players, we try to have 100% possession of the ball. Then you can learn playing football when you have the ball. When you do not have the ball, when you have to defend, okay, you can say he is learning defending, but this is easier to learn. Yeah? And in the game, there are enough of moments to defend, but we focused on possession. Possession, then we think that we can increase the skills of our players. So it means that we try also to build up with the goalkeeper. You can here see a building up of our national youth team under 17 against Spain. And normally Spain, I think, is the country in the world even the most famous known of the possessioning play. So you see which team is having the ball? The red team, Belgium. Yeah, and we try also to play in that, but sometimes it's not possible. And you see the high position of the left wingers, and we have the ball. Yeah, and we are looking for a solution, and it's not Spain who has the ball. So our players can develop here their skills. And at a certain moment, okay, the player has to decide to do an infiltration maybe, because you see that Spain is very well organized. When there is a little bit of space, the center defender, he can dribble in. Yeah. And now he will be even a striker. Yeah. So he's there, in front of the goal. And we score. So this is our philosophy, having the ball. But when we say 100% possession of the ball, there are moments that the opponent has the ball. So what does it mean? We must regain the ball as fast as possible. How? By playing high aggressive pressure. Yeah? So the coaching word is not really press, but sprint, aggressive. Then you develop also the physical capacities and the mental capacities of your players. So you see here, Northern Ireland tried to play have the ball, possession play. So you see always sprinting. You see the player, he's sprinting, putting this player under pressure. Yeah, pressure. And then we can regain the ball and we can start again with our possession, progression play. So this is a little bit our vision. I think I needed 50 minutes to explain. Normally, I can even go more in depth, but there are still other things that I want to explain. Very important is also to think about your competition structure. And you have to look for the best youth competition structure. This is the learning environment also. This is maybe more important than the coach, to having a right youth competition structure. So when you look for the competition here in Belgium of the first team, you see a separation of the professional football and the amateur football, the grassroots. There are two divisions, professional, 16 teams in the first league, and the second league, 18 teams. And then you see also here in amateur football different levels. So what's now happening? So it's separated also. Youth development is separated. So you have the youth academies of the elite clubs. It means there are 34. Now it's linked with the 18, but it will change. In 2016, they will also change it, and it will not be linked anymore to the 18, to the first team, but it will be based on quality criteria. But this is what we changed 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, on grassroots level. So what does it mean? That there are 3 levels, we call it interprovincial, provincial, and regional level, in which the youth teams are playing. And it's not linked to the A team, to the first team. So it's possible that the first team is playing at the lowest level, but that the youth academy is playing at the highest grassroots level. And we are working with a kind of star system. It means that to play on the highest interprovincial level, you have to let measuring your quality of youth development by an auditing process. I will explain later how we are doing this. So it means that you can obtain some stars, and the youth academies with 4 and 3 stars are allowed to play at the highest grassroots level. When you obtain 2 stars, you can play on intermediate level, provincial level, and to play on regional level, there is no quality measurement. So this is something that is valid for 3 years. So you as a club, you have to do an audit, then stars, and it's okay for 3 years. But each year, you have also to fulfill some quality criteria, requirements, like the level of the certification of your coaches. So it means that the higher you want to play with your youth teams, the more qualified coaches you need to have. So this is now what's happening on grassroots level. When we look at our youth competition on elite youth, so the best teams, the teams with the best youth academies, they are playing against each other. And from under 11, Bruges is at the west side of Belgium, and Genk at the east side. They are playing games against each other. So this is a real big advantage, so that the best are playing against the best since under 11. So we have a strong youth competition because of the small distances in Belgium. And only from 11 against 11, there is a ranking. You see at the little level, under 13, is playing 11 against 11. But on amateur level, we changed it last year, and from under 13 is still playing 8 aside, because we think that they are not so skillful and they need more to play small-sided game like 8 aside. So under 6 is also playing 2 aside. What we changed also last year is what's very important for us, to give the chance, the right to each player to play 50% of the time. When there is a game, 2 times 30 minutes, each player must play at least 30 minutes. How are we doing this? It's a little bit like in basketball. We are playing with 4 quarters, 4 times 50 minutes, and after the first quarter and the third quarter, all the substitutes, they must come on the pitch. So we have a guarantee that until under 17, that all the players are playing 50% of the time. It means fun, and you respect also your players, because they can only learn to play football when they are playing. When you're sitting on the bench, I do not know one player who is learning to play football when he's sitting on the bench. So he needs to be on the pitch. But very important, there's a question of ethics also in sport, is the right of the child to play football at least 50%. So even we are a small country, it's very important that the transportation time is not too big. And what we are saying that they must be longer on the pitch than sitting in the car. So when there is a game of 60 minutes, it's possible that the transportation time is more than 30 minutes. Yeah? So we changed it also. There is no competition with 16 teams, but with 8 teams. So in the first round, they are playing 14 games. And then it's also possible that we go to other groups. Why? Because each team, or the coaches, or the directors of the youth academy, they send us the level, a code of the level. Yeah? So when they are saying it's level 3, it means that we try to put them in another group, in another series, with also 3 leveled teams. So we can adapt the groups. We can so arrange that the best teams are playing against the best teams. You can say use the ranking. No, we are not using the ranking. Because when you are a good youth coach, you do not want to win. You want to develop your players. And what's the difference when you want to develop the players? You're asking things to your players they do not manage to do. Yeah? They are not able to do it. Like your goalkeeper or your defender, when it's difficult to build up, ask to build up. And maybe you will lose games, but then you are a good youth developer. When you are a good, or when you want to be a good senior coach, you need to win. You need to win. So it means that you're only asking the things to your players what they really can do. So this is a difference. So we are not using the ranking to make a competition same level. No, it's up to the clubs to give a code, a level code. And also from 11 against 11, there is only a ranking. So this is our youth competition structure in Belgium. National youth teams, it's the top of the pyramid. So it's very important that we can look for the most talented players. And we have also provincial selections. We are not inviting the players who are playing at elite level until the age of under 14, but we are making selections on grassroots level. And for us, it's very important that each player can play on the right level. So what's our aim? That maybe the best players on the grassroots level, they can go to an elite club. They can go to Anderlecht, to Genk, to Bruges. Yeah? So this is the reason why we have also regional selections from under 12. Yeah? E and B, why? It depends of the birth months. E, it means players born from January to July. B, from from January to June, and then from July to December. So this is very important. I will explain you later also why. And we start our identification system when, on elite level, when they are under 14. Why? Because then you can measure the level of maturity. And our system is based on maturity. So then players with the same level of maturity are playing games. So we have games between late mature players, we have games between normal, average mature players, and we're organizing games between early mature players. And under 14 is the best age group. I will explain it later also why. And we start with our national youth teams when they are under 15. Yeah, under 15, but then you see under 15F. Do you know what it means, F? It means future. And what's our future teams? With players of late mature players. So it's a unique system also. We started 5 years ago with separated national teams only with late mature players. Yeah, so this is the reason why there are 8 national youth teams. Another goal for our national youth teams is, of course, to organize a lot of activities, training sessions, international games, and following our principles. You saw the way we try to build up. Well, we try to implement it in all our national youth teams. It's a question also to put the best with the best against the best, but we focus on playing the most difficult football. at the age of under 15, under 16, under 17. You have to force them to make mistakes. And it's important that they are making new mistakes. It means that they are learning something. But you have to force them to make mistakes. And hard work beats talent. I think you know it, that talent is not enough. They have to work for it. And we focus also on self-development. The best coach is the player himself. Yeah? So this is the environment we try to create as a coach. Not too much giving information. It's up to them to evaluate their own performance. They have to respect also typical Belgian values in the national team. So we have some values summarized. They have to play for Belgium. Think team first, even we focus on individual actions. They need to use it on the right context. Think team first. They have to develop a professional attitude, be a pro, and of course, we need to develop winners. Yeah? You can only win games with players when they are senior, when they really, really do everything to win. So winning mentality is very important. So I said that self-development is very important. We as a coach, together with our players, we make a post-game analysis. We communicated also to the clubs, so we try to improve the communication with the clubs. And the most important aim for us is that we prepare our players for a professional career, and even to the 18. It's nice to play semi-finals, European Championship, under 17, under 19, World Cup, it's nice, but this is not our ultimate aim. So you see here, maybe national A team of Belgium, and all the players now in the A team, they played games with the national youth teams. Some, okay, when they were under 19, like Courtois, but also some players from under 15, under 16. And this is very important that we have a very good talent identification process, that we can find the right talent as early as possible. Yeah? So here you see that all our 18 players, they're also playing abroad. What does it mean is our competition, not a good competition, is a very good transit competition for youth players until 18, 19. But then at a certain moment, they have to go to the strongest competition in the world, like England, Spain, France, and Germany. So this was about the national youth teams. Coach Education School is also very important, of course. The better your coaches are, the better your players will be, and the better teams you will have. This is, something in Europe, normal, logic. You have UEFA qualifications, but we start in Belgium at the lowest level with the certificate C. And what's important is that then we will explain how to coach during 2 against 2 games and 5 against 5 games. Next step is how to coach a team, 8 aside, and then UEFA B, it means 11 aside, and then also a little bit senior amateur football and so on. What was for us also important, to organize not the basic courses, but some specific courses. We need also some specialists. Yeah? And we started in 2008 to organize a specific UEFA Elite Youth course. So it means it was only for coaches who are working at the highest level. Goalkeeping, very important also. You need good goalkeepers, so you need also good goalkeeping coaches. And we started in 2004 by organizing courses on different levels. Level 1 youth, 2 seniors, and now we started even at the highest level, professional level. We started also in 2004 with a course for directors of the Youth Academy. And the directors of the Youth Academy, they are like coach educators. They have a very important role because they have to improve also the quality of their own coaches. And we started this in 2004, as you can see, on 2 levels also, amateur level and elite level. Mental coaching, we started. Talent identification, only 16 hours, it's basic, but there we try to explain a little bit the way you need to identify talent. And we will start also physical coach, LTPD coach, as a new project in September. We try to focus on quantity in our coach education, because we have also a dream in 2016 even, June, that every team has a qualified coach. This is a dream, yeah? So it means that now we're organizing a lot of courses. Even if we go into the clubs, we have also a low fee, yeah? So the threshold is not so high, and we're organizing it on different days. So there's no problem of transport. Transport time for a coach is maximum 30 minutes to follow the sea level. But we also focus on quantity, and quantity, it means that we are organizing our courses 4 hours once a week. So we are giving reflection time to our coaches. So they are coming each week back. We are not for a system, 3 days coaching, yeah? So we like more 4 hours a week, so they can reflect about on the things they learn during the courses. So the new trends, I think it's normal that we focus on it. We try to improve also the level of our coach instructors, so we coach them also, and we focus on practice. It means that each participant must find a good mentor with a qualification, and the mentor is helping the coach during his practical sessions. As we focus on self-development with our players, we do the same with our coaches. It's like also a little bit long life learning and reality-based learning. So this was about coach education, school information. Top sport schools was also very important for us. We started in '98 with a school system, a combination of going to school and having some additional training sessions. So now there are more than 300 players in Belgium in this system, even 40 girls. So they are training together with the boys, and it's only for the most talented players. So we have 8 top sport schools. It's organized by the Belgian FA. It means that the coaches are paid by the Belgian FA. Yeah? And we started in '98. You have to know in '98 that the most talented players, young players from 14 to 18 years old, they only had 3 training sessions a week. So here we are offering on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, an additional training session. Instead of 3 training sessions, they had 7 training sessions. And it's logic that the more you're training, the better you come as a player. So this was, for us, very important. Who can go to top sport schools? Our national youth players, and also players who pass a test. So even players at a lower level, they can participate, or they can go to a top sport schools. So I give this like information. When you organize youth development, it's very important that you give all talented players the opportunity, yeah? That you can create a strong learning environment based on a vision. Here in this top sport school, they can even go to university, yeah? So they can combine both, going to school and training at the highest level. Continuity, expertise is very important. So the coaches in the top sport school, some coaches are there from the beginning. So it's very important that you do not change too much your trainer staff, and it must be oriented normally, youth development to individual development. And this is the difference with the club environment. In the club, too often, coaches train to win a game on Saturday. Here we can really focus on individual development, on the strengths and on the weaknesses of the player, and hard work beats also here talent. You can see here 18 players who are now at the highest international level, who were in the top sport school. So for us it was very important also to develop our best players in this way. Then the talent identification process in Belgium, we have also a vision on it. What is a talented player? A player who has 6 basic competences. And they are equally important. So a talented player must have the winner's mentality, must have also emotional stability. He must be something on the pitch, personality. He must be very fast. Explosivity is important. Insight in the game, and ball and body control. So this is the starting point. Talent is when a player has these 6 competences, but then also you have to look to the profiles, and we determined the different characteristics for each profile. So it's not the same for a goalkeeper, of course, as for a wing defender or for a striker. And these characteristics are also influenced by the high international standards. Two killers of talent identification program is the birth month effect, as you know, and it's also in Belgium so. These are here some stats from a tournament of elite players. You see that about 70% of the players playing at the highest level are born in the first half of the year. This is, for me, not good. I'm satisfied when it's 50-50. It's 70-30. This is not good. And what is the reason? The clubs, the coaches are too much looking for what we call high performers. No, you have to look for high potentials. And your system must be based on the 6 competences. And it doesn't matter if a boy or a girl is born in January or in December, when your system is based on the profiles and the 6 competences. And it's logic that a player who is born in January, or a girl, that he or she is stronger, because there's a difference of 11 months. It's logic, yeah? So the older a player is, the more power he has. And then a second killer of your talent identification system is the maturity, yeah? So you have early mature players, as you know, average, late mature players. There can be a big difference. And it's the same problem. It's not about looking for high performers, but high potentials. And it means that late mature players, when they are under 13, under 14, they are less competitive. It's logic. Yeah? They do not have so much power. But when they are under 21, there's no more any difference. Because each late mature player is growing up to become a senior. But when you're playing with your under 14, 15, 16, 17, sometimes under 19 teams, there is an unequal battle between late and early mature players. And this is the reason why we started with our 93, 6 years ago, under 16 with future teams. Yeah? So when you see here these players, they are maybe, when you see them, 2-3 years younger than the normal team. Here, there is a player who is now in our A team. Yeah? Ferreira is now in the A team, and he was not ready to play with our national team in the 17 European Championship. He was not ready to perform well, but he was in our system, and this was for us very important. Can you measure it easily? Yes, only by watching. Why? Under 14 is a very crucial age group, because it's the age that normally the peak high velocity, the average, yeah, it's when they are 13 years old, boys, for girls a little bit younger. And it means that most of the players, they grow up then with the highest velocity. So what does it mean? An early mature player, he is at the end of the puberty when he is under 14. Yeah, and you see this. Yeah? But a late mature player, he will have his puberty at the end of the puberty when he is under 18. So you see that when they come into the dressing room, under 14 players, that if they are late or early mature. Here there's a difference. This player, he needs to play in the game against Spain, against number 14. And this is another player here. You see immediately the difference. He is early mature, and this is a late mature player. But in the game, he's using well his body. He has fantastic body and ball control, but he cannot perform well. So you see here a picture of both players when they were under 16. Yeah, he only 44 kilo. Yeah, amazing. 78, so it's unequal. But then 1 year later, less difference. Yeah. These are here all the measurements of the late mature players, the left side, at the right side of the early mature players. And this player here, Ashley, 44 kilos, when you compare it under 14, normal, 46 average. So it's like he has a body of an under 14. So it's really unequal when you're playing together. Then to finish, we as a federation, we also try to help our clubs, and because they are our first customers. And here we are working together with FootPass instrument. Maybe you know what FootPass is. They try to measure different topics of a youth academy, like is there a financial planning? What's the organization? How about the talent identification process? Is there an athletic social support? What about the staff? have there a lot of qualifications? How is the communication with the parents, cooperation with the schools, the equipment, and also effectiveness? Can you see players in the A-team who had their youth development also there? So Football's Belgium model is now coming also famous, a little bit because of the good results of the A-team, I think, but also because it's a very good tool. Yeah? And now we are speaking about Football's England, so they are doing the same. They are measuring the quality in England, also in Germany, even now in United States. So it was very important that they help us, and we make a little bit together the tool to audit our clubs, and then there is a recommendation and a reporting, and we are giving awards. So now we have about 150 audits to organize or double pass in Belgium, and it's also one of our purposes to have more qualified clubs. But then the next step after auditing, and you send a report to the club, you can help support the clubs. So we have some club developers who go to a club, and based on what is in the report, they will help the club, and they will improve also the quality of the youth academy. So to finish, so you can, when you download here the presentation, you can also see the way that the under-17 team some years ago, players born in '96, they are playing, and you will see that it's exactly the same style. So you noticed 5 keywords. It's up to you now, when you will see this video clip, it's up to you to compare the way this team under 17 is playing. So you can see a lot of similarities. What does it mean that our under 17 must play like our 18? No. Under 17 is playing like or we want to play. So it means that you're following the principles of our vision. And then when you're doing it 10 years, 15 years, you will see that the players will play exactly the same way with the 18. So you can see here also very skillful players. So it's up to you to watch this, and you will see, maybe I will show you this goal. You see the same building up, skillful players. You see also central defender who is doing infiltration, individual action by this player, and scoring.